Hello, everyone, and welcome back to D&D&D&D&D campaign number 1, Under Locks and Keys. When we last left off, the party made their way across the sea once again to the land of Yav. Traveling through a luxury rail line with their gathered friends and crew, they traveled to the northern reaches in search of the complete chronology of time, a sacred tome said to be given only by the gods themselves to a chosen protector. Said protector on the train with you, a half-god figure working for the local mob of Tortage, who promised to give you the book if you are able to reunite him with it at the museum. However, several things waylaid you: a blizzard, a tar slime, the same tar slime having fused with the train. But in the end, you arrived. And through a process of death and rebirth, managed to return to life with the book in tow.
Which was there the entire time.
Yes.
So what, it turned out to be a bunch of bullshit?
Basically, the detective and Compan were seeing if you guys were trustworthy enough to even have this thing. From what you understand, if even half the stories you've heard of it are true, it's not something that you want to let. Like, if you could steal this as easily as you guys stole the previous ones, the world would be fucked. But the last key is in hand. At least the last free one. 6 keys are now in your hands, but 2 remain in the hands of your enemy, the technology-worshipping Boomergangers, worshipping a figure that they refer to only as the King of Beasts, and historians speak of in hushed, fearful whispers, Narusima. The elves speak of him as an ancient, immortal warlord who nearly brought the shared world of Thuria to its knees before the gods themselves had to intervene after his death and tear the world apart to ensure an army of that size and might could never be found again. You all spoke with friends, dead relatives, and even gods, and all of them gave you a similar warning. If the Boomergangers achieve their victory, there will be no stopping them and nowhere to hide. Conquest is inevitable, a matter of when, not if. With that comforting knowledge now lingering over your shoulders, you all agreed on the final steps. One last bout of study between Anna and Dr. Ku. They claim that they are able to find an ancient relic of the Dark Elves, a vessel that could travel among the stars. Supposedly, it was taking this vessel and evading the Empire when Narusima's reign threatened to destroy it. That cursed them to become the Dark Elves we know. Ever punished down the generations for their betrayal of the Empire. But, as Anna pointed out, for them to have come back to be cursed, the ship must still be on Terra somewhere. Likely underground, where the Dark Elves can find it. And judging from what triangulating Anna and Dr. Ku have done already, it seems a good starting point is to make your way back to Avaben's home. The great Dark Elf city of Ostiliant, which nearly spans a continent in the underground. And that is where we'll be picking back up. You guys come to the end of your rest. Some of you trained, some of you traveled, and some of you simply caught your breath, licked your wounds, and waited to see when the other shoe would drop. As word of First Mate Sasha's retreat begins to spread amongst the crew, more and more people are beginning to get scared. A few crew members outright desert, making their way to the village in the freezing north, where they can wait in safety to see how exactly this battle is going to turn out.
Wait, what retreat?
Non-combatants. What's that?
What retreat? I don't know about this.
In the
He
last
left.
session, I think it may have been because I don't remember if Greylock was here in the last session.
Yeah, I
The fir-
wasn't.
Okay, yeah. So to clarify, the
I thought
first
you would
mate.
have told him.
Yeah, I figured if he didn't ask me for a recap, somebody's already told him. In the last session, the first mate, Sasha, big guy, left, and whenever Avaven caught him and asked him why, he said that he knows how big of a threat the Boomer Gangers are because several people that you guys have just met in your travels have come to him to be protected because the Boomer Gangers destroyed their homes looking for you. So he's leaving to return to that village if you guys are planning to make your stand against them, so that if the Boomer Gangers try to retaliate against the friends you've made along the way, someone will be there to protect them, or at least slow the Boomer Gangers down.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, which is where Vaben got the idea of like, what if we just make them like bring them to us whenever we go get the ship, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically that's Vaben's plan, is just find the ship, but don't really worry about getting it working. Just let them come to you. But Anna is interested in the idea of if you can get it working, it would be great to just ambush the Boomer Gangers at their headquarters and potentially steal the remaining keys while they're confused.
But if there's such technology workers, wouldn't they see that coming?
Maybe. Bear in mind, nobody exactly has, even the gods themselves don't really know what the Boomer Gangers are capable of. All that's known is that their technology is advancing at an unprecedented rate. And nobody knows exactly why, how, or what exactly they intend to do once they release the King of Beasts. If that's even what they intend to do themselves. But that said, as mentioned, during your downtime, word spreads. People begin to leave. You guys can pipe up if you want your character to see any particular characters off, but Eldar and his charge, Hugh, while Hugh insists that he wants to stay and fight, Eldar does take his leave of the crew, not wanting to jeopardize his family against such a dangerous opponent.
Yeah, that's fair.
Alfred, your brothers say that while they are willing to stay and fight with you, they are concerned about leaving your family home completely unguarded. So they do offer to return home and protect the castle in case the Boomer Gangers try to make an attack on it, if they haven't already.
I don't think they'll come after us. Of course, I definitely think we should protect them.
Your brothers look to each other and kind of give a resolute nod. I think somebody has to make sure they stay safe, don't they?
Agree?
It's not just us in that town, after all. They embrace you. Oh, go on.
I just say, like I said, I don't think that they will go as far as to go all the way to our world. But, you know, just in case they do.
They give a nod. They embrace you and say their farewells before traveling down south. And as the weeks pass, Anna and Asari gradually putting together a game plan. other than the business you guys discussed with me in regards to your downtime, is there anything you specifically wish to do, either on screen or just in general, before you start beginning the next leg of travel?
What about that little halfling guy, the one that always follows us for treasure? Is he still around, or did he decide to pack up shop too?
Roll perception. I was like, where the hell did I put my dice? And then I saw that they were right next to my dice tray, and I was like, that makes sense. Good job, past me. Present me. What are you doing?
Giving you a present. 26.
Okay. As Alfred is seeing off his brothers, and the rest of you are saying your farewells to the elderly and the young who are leaving your service to find safety in the frozen village, Greylog, the thought occurs to you that you do have one companion whose loyalties may be divided, and you rake your eyes not around the crowd, but in the dark alleys, the rooftops, and the surrounding trees. And eventually, perched on a nearby rooftop, you do see them, crouched low. You almost miss them, but they catch your eye, and when they see you looking at them, they give you a wink, blow you a kiss. But their expression slowly flattens, and they give you a small nod of the head and crouch even lower as they watch the farewell.
So that they're planning to stay.
Yeah. Either, whether it's out of loyalty or simply out of a stubborn insistence that this will profit them somehow, Mouse is not leaving.
Probably both for them. But
Anything else before you guys prepare to leave Adine?
Did Aben's uncle ever make another visit during the downtime?
Not during this one.
Okay.
no, nothing else here.
Did I assume the Dawn returned to Tortage, right?
Actually, no. Avaben, as you look around, the Dawn's not leaving, but he's not getting ready to go anywhere either. In fact, you catch him, his underlings, and his daughter simply discussing the purchasing of property in the area.
We're in Tortage, right?
No, you're in Adine.
Oh,
Anna
we
pointed
never
out
left
that
it.
Yeah, Anna pointed out in the last session that since you guys don't need to go to the door to see where the next key is, or rather what the next key is, there's no real reason to go all the way to Tortage just to go and end up going somewhere else anyway.
Fair enough.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so you're not sure exactly what his intentions are, but the Dawn seems intent on staying here. Not retreating, but not engaging either. A neutral stance.
I guess one time if Aben sees him, we'll just ask, "You're not going to try to get as far away from the danger as possible?"
Now, I think that it's a bit of a slippery slope, my friend, to refer to any different group of people as a danger. Just because they think differently than us, don't mean we gotta go judging them. Now, I think if I get the chance to talk to them mano a mano, I'm sure we can come to an understanding. And he kind of looks around at the woodland, the crisp air, and while the people are odd, they're relatively friendly. He gives a smile and
I thought you would want to. I was more talking about the danger that could be coming for us, referring to the party.
he gives a smile and I know what you meant. And he smiles and puts a hand on your shoulder. Sure, there are certainly times where you need to fight. Stand up for yourself. But that's not my way. I want to give him a chance to talk. Besides, I'm looking to retire. My daughter's right. I've been in the game too long, and you guys finally getting that book out of my hands made me realize how hard I've been pushing myself. And Avaben, you didn't notice it at first, but looking at him, yeah, he's got like bags under his eyes. Their eyes are a little bloodshot. It's some of the few imperfections you can see in his features.
Maybe our healing friend can give you another boost.
Maybe so, but a good night's rest or 10 will do me fine. But speaking of healing friends, I was hoping to tell him myself, but I understand he's a busy bee. So if you see your friend Mr. Orchin, tell him that if we make it out of this, someone's gonna have to look after the family back home. And I hear there's a nice little property on some neutral ground in the central square. Little on the outskirts near the forest. Bar dedicated to the Lady Death. Nice place, been there, sweet people working there. Manager, know him, nice guy. I think it'd make a great new extension of the Campan family.
I will certainly pass it along to him. It was...
Is he wanting to buy it, or is he trying to do something there that's weird?
Vaben's just like, there was one thing I was hoping to ask.
Anything at all. You and me, we're two peas in a pod. Birds of a feather flocking together. Speak your mind, and I will lend you an ear or shoulder if that should prove necessary.
Well, the rest of our group, we've talked and decided that the risk of these boomergangers attacking people that we've met along our way is very high. And so we would like to present them with an opportunity. An alternative to going after our friends. So we're going to be seeking out a way to reach them. And if they know about it, it might be enough to make them come to us rather than to anyone else.
He strokes his chin in thought.
I was wondering if all I ask is for you to let some information spread.
He gives a smile and a nod. That's something I can certainly do, if you're certain that is what you want.
We know that if we try to hide from them, that they will seek out our friends, our families, our homes. They will go after anyone we've ever talked to in an attempt to find us. So, if we just let them find us, it should protect those people.
His expression becomes kind of mellow for a moment. He silently stares before... My friend, may I be honest with you for a moment?
Yes?
I do understand what you are trying to do, but... He kind of rubs at his arm, seeming almost uncertain of what he's saying, but he seems convinced of it, but like uncertain about saying it out loud. Is that a battle you're sure you can win? If they come at you ready for a fight? I've heard the stories. It's bad out there.
Well, I think, according to our how we've agreed, most of us would rather that the violence come to us than to those who may not even expect it. It may just to a village that's just humbly going about their day until they show up, versus us, who have fought them, who have won battles against them and their leadership even. We know them. We know to expect them just as they know us and know to expect us.
His face is still neutral, but he does give you a nod, and eventually a small smile as he puts a hand on your shoulder. As long as you're sure you're doing the right thing, I will be behind you and your friends 100%. I'll let the word spread. I got fingers in lots of places. Give it a few weeks, and not only will everyone on this continent know about it, a few people on the outside will as well, and it'll only spread from there. He's quiet again for a moment before. Good luck. You're protecting my daughter out there. I don't care what happens to me, but I don't want anything to happen to her. Or any of the boys. I have a family.
Which ultimately was one of our concerns, I would say. After all, you are someone who has talked to us. They may see you as a source of information.
He gives a bit of a small smile, and I hope they know well by now that I don't plan on doing business with that type. It's nothing personal, you see, just I'm not exactly in the business of doing the sort of harm they're hoping to do, if you catch my drift.
You may not work for them willingly, but everyone has the things that they will do anything for.
That we do. Keep all of ours safe, Mr. Aglotha. We're counting on you. I know you can do it. And he gives you a smile and a pat on the shoulder. Any final business?
Nope.
I guess if everyone will just give everyone the heads up that the information is going to get out there.
Alright.
So I'll expect, if everything goes according to plan, we should expect to fight a pretty serious battle.
It was already serious, so at least we can try to get in the areas where we can control the devastation at least.
Is Anna around?
Yeah, everyone's just hanging around in town. While
There
you
is something I want to do. Just give me 1 second to dry up.
Go ahead. We'll do Vaven's first anyway, so. Alright, Vaven.
Yeah, I'll ask them. In my experience, most kinds of ships, at least on the sea, usually have weapons. Do you think the space variety would have some as well?
If they didn't before, they definitely did after the elves got their hands on it. If it's an elf ship, it's got guns. Why?
I was wondering if we are successful in drawing the boomerangers to the ship, if it might be possible to use its weapons to aid us in the fight.
Well, we'd have to find a way to get them working. I'd have to study how they work, but yeah, that might be an option. We'll have to be careful though. Remember that if we're doing this battle's happening underground. We cause too much devastation, the whole tunnel's gonna collapse on top of us and kill everyone.
I may not have lived in them very long, but it seems most dark elves have a almost instinct for tunnels. I think I should be able to determine how to best use the weapons without collapsing it.
She doesn't necessarily seem particularly comforted by your excuse, but she does kind of give you a somewhat nervous
Whenever we
nod.
got into the Underdark, it was like I just knew how to navigate it.
No, it's not that I don't trust Dark Elf judgment. It's more that I don't trust yours. I'm kidding. It's just, we're gonna have to test these things, and I don't want your instincts to kick in with, we got 3 seconds to get out of this cave before it collapses.
Understandable, but
You're right.
something I've learned is that sometimes You just have to take a chance against certain foes.
At this, she does give a nod. I agree. We need every advantage we can get. If we're gonna attract them to us, we're gonna have to deal with their whole army. And they're gonna be prepared for a fight. We don't even know what they're gonna be bringing into this. We'll have to take what we can get.
I might have an idea, actually.
Aye?
Is everybody present?
Currently just Avaben, yourself, and Anna. Avaben caught Anna while she was doing a grocery run with you.
Kind of something I've been thinking about for a bit. But I do think that everybody should be here for them going to suggest. Because it could be monumental.
Alright, well, run it by me, we'll crunch the numbers, and once we're all ready to go, we'll pass word along once we've all gathered everyone up. Sound good?
Do you mind if we have some privacy, Vaben? Just,
Very well,
scholar to scholar. It's nothing personal, I assure you.
Very well. I will see if I can't get some messages out. See if there are any enemies of the Boomergangers we might be able to get the help of.
While you're doing that, would you mind finding our dear Paladin and Gerlog?
Very well.
And tell Ollie and you all I said hi. As we're leaving.
Very well, I will. I'm sure they'll be happy to know.
She gives a smile, and once Avaben seems satisfactorily out of earshot, she turns to you with a bit of a quirked brow. Never took you for much of a private person. What's on your mind?
Well, I'm not sure if it's really a good idea, and I trust them well enough, to work together, but
That's comforting.
well, my ideas aren't always the best, and I guess just scholar to scholar, it was something that I wanted to pick your brain about, I guess.
Well, that's what I'm here for. What you got?
She kind of sits down, and she looks very serious. What if I wished that they couldn't be successful in anything that they do?
That's some powerful magic. If we had something like that, sure, this would be easy. And she snaps her fingers as a demonstration.
Her face expression does not change.
But this is the real world, sweetie. We have to think realistically.
I can do it.
What?
Do they know the wish spell?
Yes, I do.
Wait, you're serious?
Yeah. I did a lot of studying. I've read so many books. And finally I've come to a stance in my magic where I can actually do it. I haven't tried it yet, but I want to so bad.
Well, okay, first of all, congratulations. I'm super proud of you. If we had the time, I would throw you a castanera, but... Sorry. Wishing is powerful magic. We have no idea the side effects that would have. And if we do that, we're not going to be able to undo it. We might not even exist to undo it. You might just end up doing their job for them.
Well, I was thinking about how I could word it. And I've been thinking about it for a long, long time.
Alright. She kind of sits down, crosses her legs, and stares at you as she leans up against a nearby hut. Say to me exactly what you're going to wish for. Word for word.
I wish that the Boomergangers will never be successful in anything that has to do with the door.
She holds up a finger to stop you immediately and shakes her head. That means that everything that happened in Plundon will be undone. And we don't know the effect that would happen, that would have down the road.
Yes. How about I wish that the Boomergangers won't be successful or victorious?
If some of the stories I've heard are true, the moment that door's open, it's the end of the world. I don't think that really counts as a victory for them.
Well, I mean, what if they literally can't open the door? As in, I wish that the door cannot be opened under any circumstance.
That's admittedly an option, but... Well, I suppose then we'd only have the gods to answer to, but...
Honestly, at this point, they can tear me from limb to limb. I don't care, as long as that door stays shut.
Alright, we'll keep that one in the maybe pile. We need to do some research first. That'd be a waste of a spell if it turns out there's a back door, or they have some alternate means of getting in.
All right, let's look for that solution then, because even if I say that, like, that specific door can't be open, you might be right. There might be a back door. Who knows? But
Not to mention, they clearly designed it with the intent to open it at some point. If you make a door, you intend to open it. If they wanted to just keep it shut forever, why not just make a wall? If we prevent anyone from opening it, sure, that means we win, but what if that makes things worse for someone else someday? If even the gods can't open it?
I mean, wouldn't that be good though? Then the world won't have to end. It can just keep going.
She kind of throws up her hands, not seeming frustrated at you, more at just the kind of the situation as she runs a hand over her petals. But that's the thing. Like I said, why bother even having the option to open it if they never wanted to? Clearly someone was meant to get in there at some point. But we just don't know why.
Okay, so what if I word it like this? Only the true person who is supposed to open the door may open it. Or I could say, I wish the true person that is supposed to open this door will be the only one who can open this door.
She kind of quirks a brow. Chosen by who?
I don't know, like a god or whatever. I don't know. How do you get
You gotta be specific, Asari!
No, I don't know how chosen people get chosen.
Alright, like I said, maybe pile. We'll come
Maybe
back to
there's
this.
like a choosening or something when you die.
A choosening.
I don't know.
Maybe pile. We'll run it by the others and see what they think. It's a good idea. I just don't. I want to make sure we're not trading one dangerous thing for another.
I
The
mean,
Boomerang is
even then, what about... We're about to go into a nasty battle. Even if I say I wish for the Boomergangers to not become victorious, we could possibly win the battle. At least.
I just want you to be careful. The Boomerangers don't have magic, and they're plenty dangerous. I don't want us to make their mistakes. Magic and technology are both very powerful. Neither one of them is a toy. We have to use it responsibly, if we use it at all.
That's why I wanted to talk to you about it. I mean, I thought about just doing it without saying anything, but then I thought, no, that's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, good. I wouldn't exactly be thrilled about, oh, because of some butterfly effect nonsense, I was never even born.
Yeah, I think that means you and a whole lot of other people.
So, good thinking on that one. Please never tell me you were considering doing something like that without permission again.
I do, I make sure I ask you about it first.
Give it some thought. We'll see if we can't get the maybe pile a bit higher, and we'll run it by everyone when we meet back up.
I want to see what the others think. A lot of them are much more experienced adventurers than we are.
She gives a kind of slow nod, and I'm sure they'll be able to think of something. Or, at the very least, maybe have a better idea of what this would even look like. We're going way above anything we were educated on now.
No, it's insane. What if we go back to university after this, and I just go off to a professor? That'd be funny.
I'm not stepping foot back in that building unless they're giving me a teaching degree.
Next it will be Professor Asariku.
Nah, I know you. It's gonna be Dr. Professor Ku.
I mean, yes, I am a doctor after all.
Hey, I see, I was gonna say, because I knew you were gonna say exactly that. I'm not just a professor, I'm a doctor.
But I can be a professor. They could just call me Dr. Ku.
Yeah,
Doctor Who?
only my friends call me Dr. Ku, she
Yeah.
pantomimes playfully. Any final business?
No, I'm just gonna make some tea with Anna while we wait for our teammates.
Alright. Any
Sure.
final business in a dean?
Just start that research.
I was gonna have, as part of a Vaven's thing, he was gonna ask the captain if he's still here.
Yeah.
If he has a way of contacting their benefactor. So, by the way, the others in the afterlife learn definitively what is behind that door.
Destruction into the world.
Yeah, they were admittedly a little vague, but they did at least corroborate your elder's theory that it is some sealed away warlord that means the end of the world. And yes, the captain is still here. After you leave the archaeologists to their discussion, searching around a little bit, you find him hanging around with the crew outside of the local bar. Although you do notice that he himself is not drinking. And he gives you a pleasant smile and a nod as you approach. Ah, a Vaven, old chap. Come to share a pint with us?
Maybe, but more importantly, I wanted to ask. Do you have a way of contacting our benefactor? The one who set up our whole adventure.
Contact's a bit of a strong word. It's typically more that they just message me to get updates periodically. But they check in every so often, so I'm at least in touch with them, even if I can't really control it. What do you need, old sport? Weapons? Reinforcements? Gold?
Possibly a little bit of everything. And they need to know what, considering they wanted to open the door themselves, they need to know why that is no longer possible.
Alright. They should be in touch with me in time. What should I tell her?
Tell her that that the group wishes to meet with her.
Alright, old bean. Do you have a meeting spot in mind?
I don't know, you think any good places, you think? We do need to head to, I believe, Osteliant for our next stage.
Ah, home of the
Maybe
Dark Elves.
Maybe we can meet. I'm sure we'll, to do that, we will have to probably sail to. We would have to probably do what we did last time they were in Frisia, so maybe we can meet them in Frisia.
Clever bean. I was just about to suggest much of the same. He gives a smile. That's where the crew and I first came into contact with her. And while I don't know how often she frequents it, I know that she is there when the mood strikes her. Should be easy pop to at least pass on word and wait for her.
Very well. I shall have other things to consult on, and I believe Asari has something she wants to talk about with the others, so I will leave you to your drink.
I'm staying off the drink, old boy. I've found new ways to get my rush. But I'll make sure the crew is sobered up and ready for the meeting. We'll wait for you by the train station, old chip.
Very well. And Avaven will head out to inform the others that Asari has something to talk about, and he wants to talk with you all and Ollie about some things.
Okay. Alfred, Greylog, as you've been downtiming it in Adine for about a month or so now. Of course, you see your companions periodically, but as more and more crew members start to leave, Avaven, you can obviously roleplay it out if you want, but just for immediate reference, the two of you are approached by Avaven, and he informs you that Asari is hoping to have a meeting. You will be meeting by the train station, and potentially heading out soon.
I just remembered one thing I wanted to do back very early on.
Okay, in that case, we'll go ahead and do that real quick. What's
It's
up?
a very quick and easy thing. He wants to go back to see if he can't find the staff that he left with the coal back
Bear in mind,
on the train.
It's gonna take you a while to get there on foot.
But he'd fly while shape.
Bear in mind, even flying, it's still gonna take you a hot minute. You can do it. I'm just letting you know you're gonna be gone a hot minute.
How long?
Bare minimum. How many times can you wild shape?
A lot, I would say.
Twice for 9 hours each time, and he can do so. He can get them back after a short rest.
You would definitely have to be gone for at least a day, but you could go there and come back if you want to see if it's still there.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, roll investigation.
He worked so hard to be able to use that staff.
Now it's stolen by bandits.
Investigation. 16.
Greylog, early on, while you're still working on your crafting projects, the thought occurs to you that with your balance in the eyes of the nature spirits returned, perhaps you can finally make use of the weapon that had been denied you. Taking the shape of a bird, you fly over the dark wood, over the bay, and start flying your way towards where the train crashed and the cargo was left behind. By nightfall that day, you are able to arrive, and descending down, reforming, and searching, the staff is gone, as is literally everything that wasn't nailed down.
Oh, well. It was
wasn't
worth
meant to be.
checking. Those bandits are very effective.
Uh-oh, I heard a roll.
So you're just going to make your way back afterwards?
Correct. He's not stopping. He's just, as soon as he sees it's gone, he's out.
Alright. Greylog, disappointed. It seems the bandits got here ahead of you. You take flight once more and fly through the night to return home, and presumably take a late sleep the following day. Taking us back to the now. As mentioned, Avaven passes word to you that the group may be heading out soon, but Asari and Anna want to have a meeting at the train station with the crew.
Okay.
Alfred, anything from you?
No, he will agree to this meeting.
Okay. Avaben, with one of your final errands done, you attend to the, at least as far as you told me, last bit of business, and seek out your companions. You find the two of them lurking in the graveyard behind the museum, appearing to be deep in conversation. Ollie has an arrow in hand and is tightening what looks to be a glass tip to it, and you all is kind of patting his leg, seeming a little jittery, but looking more stalwart than nervous. And he gives you a smile and stands up as you approach, which alerts Ollie to your approach as well. Hey, Vay. What's up?
I was wondering if, specifically you all, since you're a little more knowledgeable of these things, do you think we should let our people as in our people in Sherwood, know about the plan with the Boomergangers. See if maybe they want to strike back at them at all.
This actually kind of gets him to tilt his head and quirk a brow.
Because they did attack Sherwood, right?
Yes, that is true. He strokes his chin. Even Ollie seems to kind of think for a minute and pipes up. Having an army of our own would be useful. It's difficult, though. The Elder doesn't want to fight. We'd be fighting an uphill battle convincing him, but you're right, I think it would be worth a shot. And he kind of gives you a mischievous grin. Besides, being honest with you, we were planning to do that if you weren't going to anyway. We still have friends and family back home. We want to make sure that they get out of this, or at least know that it's coming. Door or no door, King of Beasts or no King of Beasts, the maniacs that brought a rotating cannon into our forest might be coming back. That should be enough to get everyone on their toes at least. But if they're going to be proactive, that's going to be up to the Elder.
And it should be noted that the ship we're looking for, I don't know if y'all were told, it's going to be in Ostiliant, probably.
Ship in Ostiliant.
Didn't we tell you about the plan?
Right, yes. Ollie was actually telling me some stories about it. Ollie gives a nod. We don't normally call them ships. We have a special name for them. She gives you a bright smile. Mortals. They have no idea what they're talking about. Just because it carries people and goes somewhere, they think it's a ship. It's a monoblock vessel.
Oh, really? So it's a vessel.
She gives a nod. They called it monoblock. Made it out of old building materials and used, they say, raw magic for fuel. With that, we could, well, at least from the stories, we could fly dimensions, travel the stars. They say some of our kind are still out there, traveling around. They never came back.
You said you wanted an adventure. Wouldn't that be a hell of an adventure?
Believe me, I'm looking forward to this. Whether we go to them or they come to us, I'm either going to get the battle of a lifetime, or I can be the first ranger to say that my favorite terrain is space.
Do you think that vessel would be armed like sea vessels?
It was built in the old days, back whenever we were all together. She gestures between you and her. It definitely has weapons. Powerful ones. They say the weapons we made back then could level cities, destroy lands, render grounds infertile for generations. I'd like to see the Boomergangers beat that.
Hopefully they won't be bringing cavern ceiling downs on us either. Would you happen to know how it is powered?
Oh, I haven't the foggiest. That technology's lost to time, and she gestures to herself. With wood elves, we don't know how to travel like that anymore.
Well, I would think if we had to guess, judging by mana block name, I would guess it's some kind of magic that powers it.
She gives a nod, but kind of scratches her chin in thought. And you all seems to see the problem she's thinking of as he gives a nod. But from the stories you told me, the ships didn't even need fuel. They just did what they did. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. That is what they said, yeah, but I'm not sure if I believe it. I mean, everything needs something to move, right? animals need food, water needs the moon, I guess.
Sea vessels need wind. In some
So,
advanced cases, I hear they have other means, like big wheels.
but I don't know much more about the details beyond that. But I grew up on those stories. They say that our old headquarters is somewhere in the woods, and if we look hard enough, we'll find it someday. She gives a smile. I like to think it's true. That you and I won't be different someday. Everyone will see us as the same. Just elves.
Certainly wouldn't be nice. Though I do have to wonder. I remember my parents told me such stories. I do sometimes wonder how long it would take us all to agree on everything if we found it again.
Well, if we find it, we find the general, and the general will unite us.
The irony.
He might. You ever wonder how lonely he must be, being by himself in the HQ?
She gives a small, sad smile. Yeah. She looks out at the sunset over the bay.
I know we're not as. What's the word for whenever you group together a lot? Gregarious?
Yeah, gregarious.
I know elves
Like,
aren't
come on.
as gregarious as the humans like to be, but I'm sure even we can feel lonely after a while.
She gives a smile and a nod. I like to think that some of the colonels survived. Keep her company, you know? Maybe some of her family. But
Possibly.
I suppose we'll never know. Well, at least not today. Unless you think it's out in the dark woods somewhere. But I checked. I haven't found it yet.
You know, with these vessels, it's entirely possible it may not even be here anymore.
No, that's not possible. The general wouldn't have abandoned us.
Oh, maybe not at the time, but it's been a very long time. Or maybe something could have convinced them that we were all gone too.
Well, unlike you, Mr. Downer, I like to have hope for the future. I think it's still out there somewhere.
Hopefully. But speaking of different elves, I was hoping to catch. I did introduce you to my, actual uncle, right?
Yeah, you brought him back with you out of the Underdark. Nice guy. What about him?
I was hoping to talk with him, and maybe he would have some idea of how the people down there feel about the Boomergangers as well, too. From what I understand, their dealings with him did not end very amicably. They could
Yeah.
be convinced to at least be a nuisance to them on their way down.
Well, it's worth a shot.
The difficult thing is that I know that there is only one kind of dark elf the dark elves at large will listen to.
And I don't imagine you're going to be getting that surgery anytime soon.
I don't plan on it. So that means there's someone I would have to talk to.
Who'd you have in mind? We could use all the help we could get.
I would have to talk to, well, her.
Both of them look to each other out of the corner of their eyes. They don't emote it, but you can almost feel the silent, like, kind of vibe.
She's supposed to have a relatively influential family. She's the correct situation to actually be listened to. The only problem is, I don't know if she would want anything in return.
Well, getting a hold of her now, then I suppose the best thing we can do is get down there and ask her what she wants. We beat her once, we can do it again. We just have to make sure we don't get arrested this time.
But I'm also trying to get in contact with the person who brought this group together. I don't know if you, I don't think you met her, but she's one of the pirates.
Yeah, we got a glimpse of her during one of the matches.
Were they there during the matches?
Yeah, they've been kind of just following you periodically since like chapter 2.
Oh, okay. But we did reveal a traitor in their midst. Maybe they might owe us a favor, the pirates. And
Let's hope there's honor among thieves.
I know there's one pirate who I get the feeling might just be that kind of way. And if I think I saw a map once of how they divided the world amongst themselves, I think it would be near his area.
Want to see if we can't find him while we're out on the Sea of Glass?
It's worth a shot. But by the way, I just wanted to ask, like, is it like kind of like common knowledge which areas of the world are divided to which pirate?
I mean, depends on what you would count as common knowledge. Like someone born inland who has literally no reason to be concerned about pirates, probably not. But yeah, like merchants probably keep track of that sort of thing because you know they need to know who
Probably,
exactly they're
and
dealing
we've been in
with.
places like Tortage, so
Mhm.
I
All right.
and I
Sounds
have
like
a feeling our benefactor is one of the types that maybe won't do anything for the good of it, but will certainly do so if you make it sound appealing enough.
All right. Well, we'll try to get a hold of one of them. See if we can't strong arm the pirates onto our side. Anna seems convinced they'd make a good crew, even if they've never even seen a ship like this. I'm telling you, not a ship, mana block. It's a ship! It carries people, it goes places, it's a ship. It's not! That's like calling every ship you see a boat! Ships are boats. They are absolutely not.
I believe I heard someone explain it to me that a boat can't carry a ship, but a ship can carry a boat.
See that, you all? Boats can carry ships, ships can't carry boats.
But I mean, if this vessel could carry an entire species worth of people, it probably could carry many boats.
Are we really having this conversation right now?
Thankfully,
I just feel like, whose side are you on?
yeah, I know, because yeah, Ollie just kind of puffs out her cheeks, turns on her heel, and just, well, it doesn't matter whether it can carry boats or carry ships or not, because it's a mana block vessel carrying other mana block vessels in this hypothetical situation of yours.
But aren't ships also called vessels?
Yeah, but that's because mortals are stupid and take everything from us.
Not all of them. I've actually met a few decent ones in my travels.
Oh, now you're suddenly a beacon of I'm out of here.
Hey. To be fair, I still don't like most of them, but I have found a few examples that aren't too bad.
You all just gives you a smile and a pat on the shoulder before planting a kiss on your cheek. And I'm very proud of you.
And as much as it pains me to say, I will admit I have met at least one not completely terrible Bretonnian.
Ollie, literally halfway through walking away, turns on her heel with her legs still in the air and starts walking back with a wide grin on her face. What was that?
I have been thinking, and I do have to admit, that the Bretonnian in this party isn't a terrible person.
You all just gives you a smile.
They are
and a hug.
annoying at times, but they are
Well,
bearable.
I'm never letting you live this down. Next time you ask me to get a drink for you, I'm just gonna bring you a cup of tea. Ignore
bet.
her. You're doing great.
Vaven's just like, well, only if you want a tea shower. Implying he would pour it on.
Yeah, I got it. Sharing a laugh. Is there any final business you have in Adine?
I don't know if there's anyone else he could really get the aid of. So I guess he'll just have to wait till the other things all come together.
We could hire a bunch of pirates for. Some of us have a lot
He's
of money
working
now.
on that. He's
Vaven,
working on that.
you and your companions arrive at the train station. You can see that your party and the crew have assembled. Everyone that is still willing to fight alongside you guys and not emphasize their safety is here. Anna seems kind of visibly a bit nervous, but keeps her cool as you all assemble. And
Oh yeah, Vaven will also give them a heads up that he has asked for them to meet with their benefactor to explain the door situation.
alright.
So that the party don't get to Frisia and she's there and they're like, oh, what the fuck?
Avaven, as you arrive, you inform the gathered crowd that the benefactor of this
No, I
entire...
meant the party.
Yeah, you inform the party that, as you kind of pull them to the side from the crowd, that your benefactor may be expecting you as you've organized for the Dawn to pass word that you want a meeting with her in Frisia.
The Dawn, I thought he's as the captain.
And the
Oh,
Dawn
yes,
was
the
just
captain,
spread
sorry.
word, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, the Dawn was the one that just spread the word in general, my bad. You talked to a lot of people about something similar, so it got mixed up in my head.
I'm sorry.
No worries. No, it's nothing to apologize about, I was just saying that's why I got confused. As the information disseminates among the party, Anna looks to you, sorry, with a nod, and
Looks like she has a little list of different ideas.
alright, do you want to tell him or should I?
You do it.
Alright. Thanks for gathering everyone, Ave. Asari has an idea. During this quest, all of you have been getting stronger, and that includes her. And she feels like she's finally got enough grip on her magic to start doing the big boy spells. And one of those spells is you can make a wish. Change anything. Laws of man and nature are at your mercy. But the key is you have to watch your wording, and it doesn't always work the way you expected it to. You're at the mercy of magic. But
You all... Oh, sorry, I thought you were done.
no worries. Asari's hoping that with magic like this, we might be able to just finish this before it starts. We're thinking maybe wish for something like the Boomagangers can't win, or the door can't be opened, something like that. We'd have to do some research to make sure we don't mess this up, but... What
I
do you
was
guys think?
thinking, honestly, the biggest idea I had was wishing that the Boomergangers and those that work with them cannot win their battle.
Wait, no, don't wish for that.
Oh, all right.
If you say anyone who worked with them, we worked for them at one point.
Just say the
Even
Boomerang.
then,
All right.
Like, you don't need to
I
add
don't
all
have
this
to say
extra
that.
stuff.
Like, yeah.
That's why we wanted to talk to you guys. We need to get as many eyes on. If we're gonna even try this, it's risky, but it might pay off.
And even then, think about this. If we use a wish spell, it's very exact. And on top of that, if it was that easy, wouldn't the gods do it off already done it? Don't they have access to that kind of stuff?
Well, I imagine that the gods work differently than us mortals do. That's the
Plus-
whole point of being a god.
Plus, to be fair, they're in the middle of the council right now. If any of them start casting spells, the others might see it as a threat and attack them. I haven't seen any gods die yet, so they're probably having a ceasefire just to avoid a fight. Which, I mean, we don't need god fights to deal with on top of all of what we're already dealing with, but getting help from them might not be an option.
Vaven's also gonna look to like Ollie and you all. It's like, is that magic is real?
They look up from a discussion they were having with one of the crew. What's up?
You didn't hear?
Oh, you guys were gathered over there with your friends. We figured it was something private.
Well, I mean, obviously we want your opinion.
Alright.
Lori is apparently saying they can use wish magic.
I can cast the wish spell. I haven't tried it yet, but
Bullshit.
I can.
There's less than 10 people alive that can cast that kind of magic.
I can do it. Look,
You all
I'll
put-
bring out my fucking spell book.
You all immediately gets between the two of you and raises his hands.
Spellbook.
There's no need to fight. Let's say we believe you. Okay? What are you going to wish for?
That's
Well, that's
what we were
fine.
discussing.
That's what we're discussing. Is the exact wording, because this is an exact, like, very specific spell. You have to be very specific.
Alright. I'm not exactly a mage, but I'll help where I can. What have you got so far?
I have, and she kind of like scribbles
While they're
out
talking
the
about
last
that, I'm
part.
gonna go get dinner. I've been waiting for
I'm
an
not.
opportunity.
I'm not casting
Good.
this. I'm not casting
Yeah,
this.
I get it. You're
Yeah.
giving test phrases.
All right. So the test phrase that I have right now is, "I wish that the Boomagangos cannot win their battle."
He kind of strokes his chin in thought. That's admittedly solid, but that means we only beat them once.
I mean, I said battle. That's plural.
They could beat us in ways that don't involve fighting us directly. If it's
I
not
mean,
a battle, it doesn't count.
Well, I mean, there's different kind of battle tactic.
Are you going to trust your idea of what that wish means over magic itself's interpretation?
I guess I'm not really in a position to do that.
If you're powerful enough to cast this spell, that just means you've learned how to control the magic. But it doesn't mean that you can control it entirely. We're all at the mercy of magic. It decides what it wants.
I mean, don't we do that anyway when we trust in a deity? Well, don't you do that when you trust in nature?
Nature's different. Nature, you always know what's going to happen next.
Nature is brutal. It is completely neutral to whether you live or die.
Oh, I acknowledge that. I'm just saying that it's easier to understand. If I stick a pig, it gets mad and bites me. But
Yeah, and
if I stick
if-
magic, either my stick's going to turn solid gold or I'm going to explode.
Well, no, actually.
Oh, by all means then, educate me, expert. And she
Well-
sits down cross-legged.
Obviously, if you do the wrong movement or anything wrong, it will blow up in your face. But it's very straightforward, actually.
Well, then you shouldn't have any problem. And she
She kind of like
turns around.
narrows her eyes. What is her problem?
She's just in a mood. And he kind of pats her head before shaking his head and putting his hand on your shoulder, just kind of push you away from her slightly. Let's focus. Okay, if you're gonna make a wish, We need to make sure you do it right.
That's
So
why I asked for help.
we've agreed battles isn't an option. Again, there's no way to guarantee that the wish is going to interpret it properly. What about the rest of you? What do all of you think?
I think
Maybe
it's a
different
risky encounter. Trying to use wish magic.
Yes.
But it really, I mean, I don't think we stand a chance there, Greg.
What
They're
is,
too strong
Yes.
for us.
what is the limit of the spell?
I mean, and she'll like point to the spell in her book that she's been reading. Honestly, it doesn't really feel like it has many limitations. It's just how it's interpreted. That's why you have to be so careful.
Hmm.
The greater the wish, the greater something can go wrong.
Well, if it's the problem about greatness, why don't we just simply lower the quality?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, the problem is we're trying to just simply end it all together. What if we just simply give ourselves an advantage? Like, couldn't you wish to have all the keys in your hands?
I could, yes. But they would
Or
still
an
come after us, wouldn't they?
Yes.
But we'd have something to bargain with. Not to
or if we
mention,
have all the keys, we could give them straight back to the gods. Make them out of the reach of the boomergangers.
How would we
Yes, I
give it
think
to the
that's a good idea.
gods?
I think giving them back to the gods is a great idea, actually.
How would we do that?
we'd have to go to the Divine Council.
Would
Or
it be
pray,
possible?
and then they'll show up to us.
I think they're in the council, so they wouldn't show up to us.
How would we get to the council?
I think I remember Anna talking about it. Are you comfortable with her knowing about all this?
Oh, she already knows.
All right. He retreats into the crowd of crew for a second before pulling Anna, who looks haggard and nervous, into the
Yeah.
party.
I'll just like gently take Anna over to where I am and just pat her, but just like lay out her petals and uncrinkle them.
All right. What's up? What do you guys need?
Well, we might have a lead actually now.
Okay, what you got?
Paul, I mean, sorry. What is it now? Alfred, sorry. I'm so sorry. He suggested instead of wishing for the battle to be won, instead wishing for all of the keys. And then somehow making it to the council and just handing them off to the gods.
All right. We'll have to be specific, though. Listen, this is actually important. Remember, the door doesn't have a set key that you get in a set order.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you all needed me for up till now. You needed someone to help you narrow down what one of the potential next keys is, and go from there. If we just wish for all the keys, every single potential one will be brought to us.
Yeah, I mean, that's not, like, necessarily a bad thing, right?
You remember how that armor we went after when you first joined the team was causing hurricanes across an entire continent just because it was on a mountain?
I see your point, yes.
And I do like the plan, but we are going to be missing one component we're going to need to work on first. And for that, we need to get back to Torridge. We need to know, or at least try to guess, what the Boomerganger's key is. If we don't know what effect it has, we could just end up teleporting the biggest powder keg into our cave. Which I think we've already established that we don't want a lot of explosions happening down there.
And I can get us back to Torch. I could do it quick. I have transportation magic.
Alright, if we're gonna try this plan, You just need to get me to the door so I can take a sketch of what the next locks look like. Asari and I can do some research, figure out which keys have been accounted for, and
We
hopefully
can narrow it down.
process of elimination, try and figure out what key they got their hands on before all of this started.
We do know about one of them is simply the crown.
Of Apollo.
The Pythian Wreath.
Other
We're
idea,
still
I guess would be just could you just wish us there to at their base?
I could, yes.
Actually, and she looks to the elves who, at this, actually kind of look to each other and they kind of consider amongst themselves before Ollie kind of gives a somewhat hesitant nod, like she's not 100% sure, and you all kind of gives a bit of a shrug before. We're not exactly experts. You'd need a proper, well, and he looks to you with an apologetic smile, sorry. No offense, but, I mean, we need someone who's an expert with this spell to know for sure, but that is an option.
Sorry, looks a little annoyed, but nods her head, understanding. I suppose while Anna gets the sketches, I'll make a run to the university and speak with a couple of professors.
Okay. Anyone else have any ideas?
How far away is the university? Sorry.
It's in Perugia. We were going to be, if I remember right, we were going to drop Asari off there before we, I guess after we drop the rest of you off at the Frisian coast.
Well, actually, I was going to go before so that they can visit Overbin's family so he can warn them.
Alright, so...
You guys are forgetting we don't have to take a boat to get to these places, right?
No, I was going to fly.
But why
So
do that when I
teleport.
can teleport us there instantly?
Well,
How many
And then
times?
you can fly.
How many times can you do that?
and how many people can you take with you? You might end up leaving some of us behind.
Let me see. He's doing some mental math.
Alright, in the meantime, while you're calculating that. Anyone else? Alright. Then, I guess, out of the plans we have, which one do we want to try? Or do we want to just split ourselves up and try all of them? We can figure out what the final key is and wish for it to be in our hands. We can... She nods to you, Alfred. Just wish for us to be at the base. We don't even have to worry about the... what'd you say it was called? Mana block vessel. Search for this thing. Or we go with the old plan. Assemble our forces there and prepare for battle. See if we can't get the ship working to ambush them if they don't end up coming to us, but broadcast our location. And at that point, if we use the wish spell at all, it'll just be to give ourselves some kind of advantage. Something small, something the magic can't possibly turn against us, but something that could give us an edge. Honestly,
I can do it 5 times.
Alright, and how many people?
Well, it'll last
1 round.
a round, so 6 seconds, so I can at least get our immediate group back.
Alright. So, I guess, what do you guys think? Which plan do we go with? You all and Ollie give a nod. We've trusted your lead up to this point. We'll follow you. We have a ship that can take us one place, and you can teleport you and your friends anywhere you like.
I can just fly home. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that far.
Sorry, don't be daft. Home's months away. You'd never
I
make
know.
it.
trying to be a tough vessel.
Yeah, right now that's not what we need, though. Sorry.
We don't
We
need your
all know
muscles,
you're
big.
tough.
We don't need your muscles, big girl. Right now, what we need is your brain. And she rubs your head, admittedly, somewhat tenderly.
Aw.
Uh, Honestly, I still think we should let them come to us.
All right.
Because the last thing we want is to be out there in the space and all of that. And something go wrong. We destroy their ship, ours is disabled, and we're stuck, stranded, or no air.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so that's one vote for the original plan. Al? Farthing for your thoughts?
I mean, I am up for whatever you guys decide.
Okay.
Yeah. Got to have an opinion.
And what's a farthing?
Oh,
It's a copper.
yeah, one of these things. And she pulls a small bronze coins from her pocket. What, gotten so used to being loaded, you forgot what these look like?
Yeah. Well, I think I got a few of those on hand.
Tool.
It's like a
But yes.
millionaire looking for a penny.
But she gives you a smile as she insults you. All right. How about you, Sorry? It's your suggestion. Which one are you leaning on?
Well, if they're gonna come to us, I think that we should go with the original plan on wishing that they can't win.
Okay, so original plan, just use the wish for backup. You all puts a hand on Avaben's shoulder.
All right, I'm back.
Great
What did
timing.
I miss?
So basically, conveniently, you all just asked your opinion on it. Asari has explained the situation of the wish to the group, and with Alfred's input, the group has narrowed down to three potential plans. Plan A, which is currently in the lead by 2 votes, is your plan. Go to the find this ship if it exists, set up camp, try to repair it, but even if you can't, just wait. And eventually the Boomer Gangers will get desperate and come to you. And you've broadcasted your plan as much as possible, which minimizes the risk of them targeting your family before they realize you're there. Plan B, return to Tordit and use the Book of Time in the keyhole, which will reveal at least the identity of one of the final keys. Asari and Anna will then take some time to basically narrow down which ones can be accounted for. Like, okay, we know Zeus' Thunderbolt is here, we know like Poseidon is here, and see if they can't, of elimination, figure out what key the Boomer Gangers have. And if it's not a key that would be dangerous to possess, since some of them, like Quetzalcoatl's armor, are, you could simply use the wish spell to teleport ETH and their other key into your possession, which removes the need to ambush them and gives you all of the advantages you could possibly get going into the fight. But of course, that will mean extra time, and there's no guarantee Sorry and Anna will be able to deduce the location, or rather the identity of the key. Or finally, Plan C, which, as I understand it, correct me if I'm misunderstanding,
was to wish ourselves into the Boomer Gangers' hideout in space
skip
to
the ship
ambush them
entirely.
on their own place.
Yeah, skip the ship entirely, wish yourself onto the moon, fight the Boomer Gangers on their home turf with the element of surprise, steal the keys they have, and either wish yourself back or hijack a ship, or because they clearly have some means of getting from the moon and back, find how they're doing it, and get in, get out, get the keys.
Man, that one sounds even sketchier now to me.
So that's
Because you said
already-
teleport to the moon. Like,
Well, if you word it wrong, I would say
There's
teleport
already 2
inside
votes
the
for the
base.
first one.
yeah. Plan A currently
Well,
votes at 2, but we'll discuss it if Maven has a differing opinion.
wait, wasn't there a different idea though that was voted for?
If there was, I just genuinely forgot. Do you remember what it was?
The idea just simply wish they can't win, right?
Anna did say that yes, but you'll likely just use that as a backup wish since playing require the use of a wish at all. So, sorry, suggested just, use it to give yourself an advantage in the battle by, wishing for something like that.
Avarian was going to suggest as a possible use for the wish with Plan A. Why don't you just wish for the ship to be fully functional and fully powered, so we can use it in the battle?
That's not a bad idea. Need to run some tests to make sure the weapons are safe to use without killing everyone, but yeah, that actually could work.
We don't know how to power it.
I wouldn't even know where to start.
Well, how about I wonder if I can wish for it to be fully functional and I would be able to understand how to use it.
I think that'd be
Fully
too...
functional with an owner's manual.
I think that's 2 wishes, love. Not sure if that works.
I mean,
Could we say...
maybe it would take me some time, but I'd be able to do 2 wishes.
Well, if you get 2 wishes, then that works. What were we gonna say, Vay?
So, do you think we would be able to say, like, I wish for... Maybe we should get there and find its name.
I think that's a great idea.
Specifically.
I wish that the whatever name of the ship is fully
fully functional.
fully
think that-
functional and fully fueled.
Okay.
We don't even know if it needs, if it has
Well,
specific
even if it
fuel.
doesn't, even if it doesn't need fuel, then at least we know it's safe.
I was just going to say that it's fully functional and fully powered.
Fully functional and fully understandable.
Like fully fueled and fully powered are fairly similar.
Well, we can debate on the specific semantics on the way, but does that mean we're going with your plan then, Vay?
That's the one I vote with.
Right. Al, are you okay with that?
I mean, I am okay with whatever y'all decide.
She gives you a smile and a pat on the shoulder before. Alright. Then we have a plan. Let's find that ship. Still not a ship. I don't want to hear it.
Let's find the big piece of metal we're trying to work with.
I actually prefer that ship.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, you're getting all lately. Someone's got to keep pace. And she gives a wide, teasing grin. Well, what do I tell the crew?
Get ready for something wild.
Alright. Is there anything...
We're at
Ilium.
make way for Ilium again.
How long will it take to get there from here?
Roll survival.
I know you said it will take a while to get to Perusa, so
Yeah, but you were saying... that was like flying manually.
yeah,
Like,
no.
Compared to flying, unmanually.
I mean, I guess planes?
Natural 20.
Nice.
Assuming it keeps its usual pace, you may get slowed down a little bit. Okay, I guess for my clarifications you brought it up earlier. Are you just going to teleport the party there, or do you intend to take the ship so the crew can back you up?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out how long it'll take there, like, if we go by ship, to see if it would be better to go by ship and have the crew, or us go ahead and then the crew join us. depending on how long it would take.
Okay, I just wanted to. I didn't get like a detailed answer. Then you'd be like, "Well, I meant more. How long would it take me to teleport there?" All right. So with that clarification,
That's fair.
yeah, with that clarification, you know that the journey there will take about a month and a half, maybe 2 months.
Hmm. By that point, hopefully, we would have already had our fight and be done.
Anna and the elves look a little nervous.
Oh, am I coming through on the mic?
A little bit, but it's not a big deal.
Let me think. How quick can people get through a portal?
I personally rule it that because it's up for 6 seconds, and obviously everyone would need time to like move and get in without blocking each other's way. I personally rule it that you can teleport. Yeah, you can transport up to 6 people per cast.
And how many of us are there again?
Your party consists of 4 people right now, not counting any NPCs.
Well,
Here's what,
counting NPCs. How many of us are there?
Since a few of them deserted, I need to check.
we just gotta break the system. That's all we got.
Yeah, I just fucking break the sound barrier to get like get going at a rate of like 3 people per second.
No.
We'll just get them on that, runner's starting position.
No. Here's what we do. We all get them around the portal, and then me and Greylog will fight, which will start initiative. Everyone will have their own initiative, and they will all go one by one. Technically, in a round.
Counting all NPCs that have actually like joined your party and have not deserted yet, 21 people, counting yourselves.
Okay, I got enough spells for that.
At this,
Because you said six per.
per cast. So like you cast it, 6 people can go through the portal. Cast it again, 6 more people can go through the portal.
Yeah. Okay. I can definitely do this then. If they're willing to leave the ship behind for a little bit. Oh wait, we went on land.
That's a lot of people. How many people are we bringing? Like who all are we bringing?
Yourselves and literally every, at least on the crew of the Breaker, every NPC who is willing to stick their necks out for this.
So is it mostly just a breaker crew and then like a Vaben's friends?
It is you guys, the Breaker's crew, now including the captain since you've got him motivated, Nitro and Nos from Plundon, your companions, Kodogwal, and Blue Moon the assassin.
Yeah, we need the people who have the keys, otherwise they'll just target them.
Oh, and I'm sure Mouse dude.
Yeah, but there's no guarantee he'll actually help you in the fight. You just know he's sticking around.
Yeah, but I'm gonna let him through the portal anyways because he won't get there in time to do any looting.
As far
If
as
he Oh, good
Turns
point.
out he has
might have magic.
teleportation magic.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Alright, so is everyone good on this course of action then?
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
So I don't have to use forecastings of it to get everyone through.
Okay. As you pass, I presume this information along. Anna, you all and Ollie look to each other, look to all of you before each of them resolutely nod. Alright, I'll let the crew know. We'll leave the breaker behind. I brought all my notes with me anyway, and she kind of jostles her heavy-looking backpack. And if we're lucky, leaving the breaker there might throw them off our scent.
At least for a little bit.
Yeah, buy us some time. Alright. What do you need to do this? Just find a tree?
Yep. Just it has to be big enough for someone to walk through.
Alright, I guess I'll let the crew know. You get geared up. We don't know what we're going to be walking into. The Dark Elves were allies to the Boomagangers at some point. We should go in expecting the worst.
Well, they were allies long enough, only for the Dark Elves to find out that the Boomergangers were going to turn on them at any second once they got the key.
From the stories I heard about London, I don't think betraying one another is an immediate disqualifier for working together again. Otherwise, pirates would never be able to function. She gives a bit of a grin.
Yeah, but this is Dark Elves. No
She
offense,
kind
they're a
of, yeah,
little
Ollie
arrogant.
and you all both quirk a huge brow.
They're a little arrogant, but I
Hold on,
not
what did he
all
say?
of
Did he
them.
just say something racist?
Yeah. He was like as Anna was like, well, just because they betrayed each other doesn't mean they can't work together. Pirates do that all the time. And Graylog was like, well, yeah, but these aren't pirates; they're dark elves.
Borderline racist.
Hey,
What exactly do you mean by that?
I asked you my mind just went blank. I'm sorry.
You all kind of puts a hand on your shoulder and just, it's fine. We know what you meant. That it is a fair point. They probably either hold a grudge against us or might still be allied with them. Honestly, at this point, either or. I think Dr. Kemery has a point. We should go in expecting the worst.
Yeah, probably.
You get your spell ready. We'll get the crew ready to go.
Given now
Okay.
how we... Didn't Avabian talk about sending the message with you all and Aldi? Like to the pirate, or was that someone else he was talking to?
Yeah, you talked about that to... I believe you talked about it to them, but more essentially just, hey, while we're in the area, we'll pass word along.
So how are we gonna pass word along if we're not gonna sail? I guess we just do it when we get there?
I guess. It'll save us a trip.
Alright.
Alright, Graylog, get your spell ready. I'll assemble the crew.
Okay, he will go find a big tree.
Alright. Graylog, you go find a big tree. As Avaven, your friends rejoin the circle of the crew, as Anna hops up onto a little train station platform and looks over everyone who stopped mumbling amongst themselves and look to her now that she's back in the center of attention. Sorry about that, everyone. Had to just work out the hithertos and the why-falls, you know? Right. We are changing the plan slightly. We have reason to believe that we can grant ourselves a significant advantage through the use of magic. And one of those advantages is Graylog's gonna get us there without us having to sail. Which means everyone here, you have permission to go. We just needed you to work the ship. If you're not willing to die for this, I'd suggest you don't come. We're going into enemy territory. We have, frankly, no idea what we're up against. All we know is that it's bad. I'm going, because this is the archaeological find of the age, and I'm not about to miss it. Our friends are going, and she nods to the party, because they have business with the Boomergangers, and a world to defend. But the rest of you, you have friends, family. You have homes to return to, loved ones to protect. I'd understand if you didn't want to be there for this. You've seen the Boomergangers. You know what they can do, what they're willing to do. We can't assume that they're going to show us any mercy to get what they want. But if you stand with me, stand with all of us, we're returning to the Underdark. We'll fight our way through the Dark Elves if we have to. There's a ship down there. And if we find it, we can take the fight to them. And if we work fast enough and loudly enough, they might just come to us instead. But that's just if you're coming with us. The rest of you, return to the breaker and wait. If we message you that everything's fine, then we'll come back for you. If we don't, well... She tapers off, but...
Assume the will.
Yeah, you can... Yeah, as a sorry, you pipe up. The crew is already mumbling amongst themselves. What does it mean for them if their captain, benefactor, and pretty much everyone is all dead, and they're stranded in a foreign country with a ship they can't pilot alone? Not to mention, of course, what that means in the long term if you guys fail.
Though, if you do come with us, and we all manage to get out of this alive, anyone who fights and sails with us, no matter how we do so, will get free drinks, and I'll give a decent cut of pay, if that's incentive that you might need.
You hear a small hiccup in the crowd, and Avaben, you see the Dark Elf cook that you had befriended. The moment Greylog mentions a promise of drinks, he steps forward and raises what appears to be an already half-empty bottle of Yavik liquor. All right, I'm in. And
Yeah. There we go.
All right, Cookie.
when you mention pay, Mary, the Swabby, steps forward. They're kind of doing a little, like, dance from side to side. They seem kind of jittery and nervous about it, but they kind of take a deep breath to steel themselves and step forward onto the train platform. Yeah, all right. If you're paying, I'm in. Come on. Yeah, we all fly the black flag, don't we, guys? What do you need to motivate you more than money?
And would it be better to say that half your pay will be up front? Just help.
Give you motivation so you know you can live so well after the battle's done. Retire for the rest of your life.
Well,
This seems
maybe
to
not
motivate-
retire, but
This
you'll
seems to
you'll have good money.
This seems to motivate the bulk of them. You see that Everett, the carpenter, Smith, the lookout who often shared long days and nights in the crow's nest with Avaben, even Mole, the reclusive second mate of the ship, climb aboard the platform. A few stragglers stay behind. Not leaving yet, but more watching to see if anything else is offered for them. You all and Ollie step forward next. Those people tried to destroy our home, kill our families, for something that we didn't even have. They're gonna pay for it. And she knocks the glass arrow she's been working on into her quiver as she hops up onto the platform.
Yeah, these guys are assholes. They've been on our tail since day one. Who doesn't like revenge? Come on.
This seems to
Also-
get Blue Moon. Oh, go on.
Oh wait,
Hello?
who's left? Who's left?
Out of people who haven't volunteered yet,
Yeah.
Blue Moon, Kodogwal, Anna, Nitro, and Nos.
I thought Anna already said she was.
Yeah, I was
coming.
gonna say on to Anna. Come on, it's a
Yeah,
discovery of a lifetime.
but she hasn't put her hand in the hooray pile yet.
I'll just
Yeah,
be like, I'll just give her that stink eye. Like, come on, I did it for you.
Yeah, right. Yes, yes, I am going. I'm going. Like I said, I'll kill.
Damn
you
right
fine.
you
I'm
are.
not missing it.
There is no
And
way in
If
hell
I
I'd
remember
let you.
right, was it Kodogol's whole thing? He wanted to go like on an adventure or something.
They want to find
Partially,
his
but it's
family.
more his siblings abandoned him during his protection of the armor. He wants to find them, and according to the scent trails he's picked up, they're somewhere behind the door, which is why he's been helping to gather the keys.
All right, I'll look over
How
to.
did what?
I'll look over to him and just be like, if we have the keys, maybe we'll be one step closer to finding your siblings.
And plus, if the whole world's destroyed, that means your siblings too.
He kind of pulls at the conch armor around his chest.
And the
Seemingly
god
Right,
who gave you
wanted
that
to-
might die too.
And you did want to see the world and have some adventure.
Yeah, I did.
You can literally see the world from space.
He gives a bit of a smile and... I'll join, but not just because of all that. I've met a lot of great people traveling the world with you guys. I don't want anything to happen to them. And with that, he less walks onto the platform, more just opens his arms, and a gust of wind kind of lifts him before kind of plopping him gracefully onto the platform.
Man, it's that armor, isn't it?
I guess he took a step of the wind seriously.
And Asari, at your declaration that vengeance is also a valid objective, Blue Moon, with a dancing cartwheel, leaps onto the stage and gives a flourishing bow.
I'll just be like, give him that nod, like, right, who doesn't like vengeance?
Oh, so is it Quetzalcoatl like literally Quetzalcoatl's like son or something?
Yeah, one of 3 children, as far as you know.
Yeah, maybe we'll just try to give him a little. I mean, he doesn't know much about his father, but he's a god, so he'll just be like, I think with that, you definitely fill out your father's armor.
You think so? Well, it's never really been mine, I think.
Well, in theory, one day it might be. I don't know how long odds last.
He kind of shakes his head and pats at his chest over the conch patterns. That's not what I mean. I mean... You guys need this for what you're going to do. I may be the one wearing it, but it's yours. At least until my dad comes back for it.
Thank you for your trust.
He just gives you a smile. You help me. Why shouldn't I help you? The captain wheels up onto the platform and kind of looks to the remaining crew members who haven't already done so with a scolding expression. Well, then this shall be quite the eventful battle we're wheeling into, eh, what? You'll need someone with competence and experience by your side.
Wouldn't dream going without you.
And as
No nightmares about it either, love. And he kind of looks at you through one eye with a suspicious but playful squint.
Besides, this could be a really good opportunity to make a name. I know it's really important. Whenever you don't live for forever.
One way or another, I'm getting immortalized here, my friend. Whether that's in the annals of history, or because I found a little bit of whatever it is the Boomerang has got going for them.
I
My
mean,
chair could use a few upgrades, and he gives a little spin.
now look to the others that haven't joined us yet. I mean, just think about it. People will know our names. Thousands of years have gone by, and people will still be thinking about us and what we've done.
and I'll start passing out 100 gold to each one that came up.
Sorry, roll persuasion with advantage.
Ooh.
Just let me know how much that's going to cost me.
I think if Vapid might joke with like you all and Ollie. Yeah, legacy is not as important for us considering we just live forever.
Oh, he'll pay them too.
Legacy can still be a thing if you're an elf. Come on.
Yeah, you all does kind of playfully elbow you and just like, I think legacy's very important. A lot of our generals and colonels have been remembered since the Second Age.
It also helps that a lot of them are probably still alive.
He pouts and kind of slaps you on the back of the head, but holds his hands out to take some of Greylog's gold. Sorry, persuasion?
Hang on, I'm looking at some things that I can add to my. I have like brand new things that I can look at. Give me one
New
more second.
abilities and powers.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so while you're doing that, so assuming that you're just gonna give 100 gold to everyone besides the party, obviously, who volunteers.
Correct.
All right.
Hail of Thorns is actually kind of good when it's upcast.
Oh yeah, it's a good spell.
3d10.
All right. You may get some back if Asari does not rally the remaining troops, but assuming you get everyone, 1,700 gold.
Okay, that's not bad.
I know I got a new one, but I can't see where it is.
That plus the free drinks. I don't think they care about being immortalized.
Yeah, they're pirates. It's more just like we're either gonna get treasure or at least have some fucking fun saving the world.
Yeah. And alcohol.
Yeah, and most importantly, they'll be drunk when the world ends.
Yeah, number one question for pirates.
Mm.
Where's the rum?
Why is the
Why
rum
is the
gone?
rum always gone?
Why is the rum always gone?
You need some help, Asar?
Yeah, I'm trying to find my new thing that I can do, but I can't.
Well, what is it that you can do so I can help you find it?
It was like it's a charisma thing of like, it's not the forceful present one, but it was like one that like I could give them like an awe or something. Hang on, I saw it when I was doing my leveling up.
No, that is forceful presence, I believe, because you make a charisma, intimidation, or persuasion check and can do so with advantage.
Okay, yeah.
Is
So
that what
I
you're
will.
thinking of?
Yes,
But
I'll
you
do.
already have advantage.
Oh, okay. So I already have advantage. Okay. Let me look and see what I have.
I will say, for what it's worth, if you still want to do that, I will take it into account when deciding the results.
Nah.
Okay.
I should be okay.
All right. In that case, persuasion with advantage.
Oh, I am so glad I had advantage. Ooh! This
That's a
dice
20?
yeah, this dice is hot and cold because my first roll was a natural 1.
Asari,
Yeah, so we're good.
you initially are concerned. While you do have a majority of the crew, there's still a few stragglers who don't seem convinced by promises of wealth, drink, and post-mortem immortality. But just as your confidence is starting to waver and you consider tuning into your draconic heritage to force your presence outward, you hear the clinking of coins behind you as Greylog starts to pass out payment to the crew.
Yeah.
And you see their eyes visibly following the exchange of coin. And as you lean aside to simply show how much money they're not getting by refusing to help, everyone else is immediately persuaded to join.
Hey.
Yo ho, pirate life for me.
At this, the crew actually does also take up the chant.
We're just singing
Alright.
them around.
Let's go kick some arse. Where's the bloody door?
And I will start casting transport via plants.
Wait! Before you go, this is really important. This is why I was waiting before I said that I was officially in. She puts her hand in the center of everyone and looks around with a wide smile.
Alright.
Come on, don't leave me hanging.
Go on, I'll put my hand in.
Yeah, good point. And he'll put his hand in.
Alfred, Aben.
Faven just looks at you all like, really?
Yeah, why not?
You all just kind of gives a smile and a shrug and puts his hand on top. Ollie's joins as well.
I just imagine like Ollie just grabs Faven's hand and puts it in there.
She's not going to force you, although she is giving you that expression that tells you she is going to tease you about it if you refuse. You know, that like little cousin expression where they give you that smirk from across the family dinner, like, oh fuck, you're gonna hear about this later.
Like, she's not gonna force you, but you will definitely,
Hear
regret
about it.
Wish she had.
Faven's just like, and I'll like half-heartedly put his hand in the hand.
Alfred, come on, bud.
Okay. I said I would do it, yeah.
Okay.
You think
One
we
by
should get
one.
literally every single person here to...
Oh yeah, that was the plan. Scooch aside, make some room. As one by one,
We're all just like huddled up
Yeah.
together.
more and more hands join the pile.
We're gonna start a fire if we get this close together.
You, Aben, you can see the sailor of the breaker who's been the night watchman. You still have no idea what their name is, but you can see they turn and stare at you and kind of tilt their head to the side.
Oh.
Yes.
They mumble something, but the mask appears to be muffling what they're saying. You can't clearly make it out.
That's funny.
Alright, let's just get everyone in here.
The moment the final hand makes contact, Anna, with a little bit of effort, pushes her hand up, and as everyone celebrates, she gives this time a much more confident, "Go team!" and does a little skip in place.
Roll survival.
Alright, Greylog, portal us up.
Okay, and he will start the process.
The party will be going first, yes?
He'll be going last, of course.
Oh yeah, of course, I figured. It's like, basically, it's the rest of the party going first. Okay. In that case... Actually, yeah, there would be enough for you to... since Greylog's not going, that would be enough for... So, you three, potentially Alfred and Asari if you agree to go, and Anna will take the last slot since Greylog's not going.
But of course.
Alfred, good with you?
Yeah.
Alright, and Greylog, for my reference, where exactly are you sending them?
To the, because we're going to the Elf Village first, right? That was the idea?
Yeah, Quaco Village, because the entrance into the Underdark is right near there.
So
Well,
he's
Atari was
sitting
going
on
to
right.
her parents.
We gotta meet... Also, we were meeting our benefactor in Frisia.
Well, he's just gonna get us to Elf Country first. So
Oh.
right into the heart of the Elf City,
Okay.
since there were tons of trees around.
Yeah, alright, easily done. Greylog, you find a large tree in the dark wood. Extend your sense of the nature around you. Touch the tree. And a portal slowly appears. Avaben, you all, Ollie, and Anna head through first. Alfred, do you join?
Yeah.
Alright, and Asari, I will say, since you seemed hesitant, do you still want to go with them, or wait for Greylog to
yeah,
send
I'll
you
go
to your
to the-
destination?
No, well, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that last thing.
Okay. Asari, seeing that Greylog is sending them to the warfront first, you stay behind with Greylog to help get the rest of the crew into Quaco Village before you return to your home. And seeing that there's another slot open, Blue Moon does a little dance, cartwheeling over before slipping into the portal as it shuts behind her.
I'll just give her a thumbs up.
She gives you a thumbs up and a wink as she passes you by and blows you a kiss.
Aw. I'll
If
do
you
that.
like
Oh,
sorry.
you.
Ugh. don't know why. That's just
I was gonna
kind
say, if you'd like, I can actually send you straight home if you'd like.
Will you come with me?
Oh, of course. I'll need to
Yeah.
take a rest afterwards.
Well, of course. I'm sure Mum wouldn't mind you taking up an extra room.
But yes, I could totally do that.
All right.
She
Do you want-
won't let us in the same room unless we say we're married.
Hmm? Well, now's as good a time as any. And yes, that is a proposal.
She just kind of like looks at him, and she just like has this expression of she had no idea that would even be in the realm of possibility for them. And she's just like, wait, what?
Well, yes, no, maybe, put a stick in it. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Some kind of answer.
yeah, of course. I mean, we've been together for so long. I don't want to be, without you.
Well,
But
then it is settled.
all right,
We'll tell your mother the great news when we get back.
she's gonna have a fucking cow.
But wait, I thought she was part dragon. How's the cow involved?
It didn't come through, but Matt just said it was going to be a minotaur.
Yeah, sorry, I was muted, so I didn't interrupt. But yes.
Uh,
All right. So you're gonna head to Asari's home first, or again finish the?
yeah, he's gonna get all the other people through to the elf country, and then he and Asari would go to her home just long enough to get some sleep, her do what she needs to do, and then we teleport back to the others.
Okay. In that case. Avaben, Alfred, as the two of you with your companions are sent ahead, a few of your crew members joining you, you make your way through the portal and are transported by Greylog to the outskirts of Quacko Village.
And I guess we'll also let one of the sailors know when they go through to let the others know that we will be joining them the next day after we go to Asari's house for a minute.
Okay.
That way they're not just like, so where are
Where
the others
fuck
at?
are they?
Yeah,
And why aren't they showing up?
yeah. I'll just kind of like as a little side note. Sorry, I will just like admit to Greylog. I'm not sure how my mom would feel about pirates in her house.
Well,
They would have
there
to
aren't any
certainly walk
pirates,
away
it's
from
just
it.
us.
As long as it's not actual pirates.
Wait, what are they doing?
They're gonna head to have a little honeymoon at Asari's mom's place.
It's not a honeymoon. She's pretty much just going to go check up on her mom, tell her what's going on, and then we're going to come straight back to you guys.
Yeah, honeymoon.
So they're just going by themselves?
Yeah.
And you got, but they are sending the rest of the crew to back you guys up and here, and then they'll join you the next day.
Alright.
As the two of you appear through first, you take in your surroundings.
It's
Avaben,
destroyed.
Avaben, immediately your nostrils are filled with the acrid smell of smoke. And something else that you can't quite put your finger on, but it makes you feel sick.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Alfred and Avaben, as you and your
Wait, what's
companions,
happening?
you smell smoke and something bad. As the two of you step through with your companions and take in your surroundings, Alfred, as you and Avaben kind of scan the area around you, you can see buildings still stand, and that's about all that can be said. for Quaco Village. The grass, the trees are gone. You can see husks of trees that were burned, the stumps of trees that were cut. You can even see holes where even the stumps were drilled out of the soil in the wake of whatever happened here. Looking around, you don't see any bodies, but Avaben, you know the culture of your people well enough to know that is far from a comfort. You all and Ollie step up next to you as they take in the site. Again, the buildings are a little charred, but otherwise unharmed, but all of the nature has been completely devastated. What happened here?
Where is everybody?
Hello? Is there anyone out there? His voice echoes over the burned forest. And there's no answer.
Where is the next nearest village?
The nearest village is actually, if you can believe it, the capital, which is, you'd reckon, given that you can get the group through through forest pretty easily, probably about maybe 1 day, 2 days to the northeast.
Do you think they went to the capital?
Maybe, but
There's no bodies.
that doesn't necessarily mean there weren't any.
It does mean that there had to have been some left.
Right. Right.
If they were all dead, then there would have been no one to collect them.
I'm gonna... I need to... You go. I'll check the houses. Ollie heads deeper into the village to see if there's any survivors.
Yeah, Raven's gonna search too, and he's gonna... To you all, come, let's see if there is anyone left.
Evan, I can't. He puts his hands on his knees and bends over. As you can see, his eyes are just raking over the stumps and holes and burnt trees.
What was his... What did his dad do in the village?
He was a nobleman. He was basically... think of him as, like, essentially one of the local lords that answered directly to the leadership, which would be the elder.
Raven's gonna, like, kind of, do the hand thing where he places his hands on his head to, like, try to, like, focus him and stuff. Call you all. We have to do this.
So many plants. These trees were older than us.
We can... The great thing about plants in nature is they can be regrown.
He gives a shuddering
Our
breath.
people are not so easily replaced. If there's anyone who's stuck, needs our help, as one of our Lord's son, and as a member, you and I have to do this.
I just go with Ollie. I'll catch up. I just need a second. He takes in a few deep, heaving breaths.
I'm not going to leave you by yourself.
All right. He just gives a nod and seems like he's fighting off the urge to be sick. Alfred. Blue Moon walks up next to you. As Anna, you can hear gasps and just stands in front of the portal with a horrified expression. Blue Moon looks you in the eyes, kind of scans you up and down. What are you doing?
Well, I'm gonna cast... I guess I would like to cast... Here. Detect poison disease?
What's the range on that?
30 feet. Not very far.
cast detect poison and disease. Just for my clarification as well, are you going to stay where you are, or are you going to like move around a bit, just so I know like if you end up finding anything?
I will. Yeah, he'll move around. He'll probably start heading towards the village, where at least he knows what the idea he thinks of the village is.
Yeah, which Ollie's already heading in to check to see if any of the huts still have people in them. So yeah, you can just follow her. Blue Moon follows behind you with a curious expression as you tune in to your deep sense of honor and duty and scan your surroundings with a magical eye for poisons and diseases. In one of the houses, one of the huts that Ollie has not checked yet, but she's about to, you detect a poison. Does it tell you the kind of poison?
I believe it does. You can identify the kind of poison, a poison creature, or disease in each case.
You know that the signal you're getting of poison from that building is Triffid venom. You want to roll nature?
Sure. Sure. 4.
You have no idea what a Triffid is, but you clearly know it's poisonous. That is about the extent of your knowledge.
Oh wait, I remember what those were.
No.
Alfred, what do you do?
I want to try to look for any survivors, so I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna get my steed out.
Going astride your Periton, you assist Ollie in searching for survivors. Roll investigation. And we'll circle back to you. Just keep your result ready. Avaven. You all takes several minutes to calm down, and is finally eventually sick at one point. But that seems to at least ground him a bit, and as he wipes at his mouth, he takes in a shuddering breath before standing up and finally being ready to face the devastation, turns to look at the village. Okay, let's catch up with the others. Dr. Kemry, come on. I'm sorry. It's okay, it's not your fault. It's theirs. No one's ever made it this far into the village before. The forest has always protected us. How did they get past the Dryads? How'd they get past the Guardian of Wisdom? He looks around, kind of doing a
I
circle.
don't think that they got rid of those.
If they destroyed the Guardian of Wisdom, we would have noticed. The last time a creature like that died, it affected the entire world. And that only took a few seconds. We need to see if there's survivors. If there is, they can tell us more.
Alright, I guess anybody that's willing to help search will be appreciated.
Alfred, how'd you roll?
18.
Alfred, as you investigate the surroundings, you kind of peek into the home that you had gotten the signal of venom from. Cautiously, of course, but you're surprised to see an elf. Their hair is long and almost a silvery blonde. Their eyes are closed, but their breaths are uneven. They do not appear to be asleep. But they are breathing and alive.
Am I detecting the poison on them?
Yes, and I'll say now that you're seeing them up front, the poison's in his eyes.
Well, I'm gonna go up to them and lay on hands.
Enough to cure them of a poison?
Yep. Neutralize the
Alright.
poison.
The man struggles as you touch him, but as your magic courses through him, their breathing slows and eventually settles. And just as you feel confident that you've purged the worst of it from them, their eyes open and their pupils are completely white. Hello? Is someone there?
I want to touch his eyes and try lesser restoration. Condition blind arrow cure, condition blindness, deafness, paralyzed, and poison.
Paul is just Jesus now.
I mean, I haven't really paladins in general, but yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Alfred, concerned, you cast lesser restoration.
Turns out this guy was just normally blind.
Whether he was normally blind or not, Alfred, his color does not return to his eyes, and his brow kind of furrows. You're not sure if he understands, given that he can't see what's going on, what you're trying to do, but he seems to at least infer it to a degree as he gives a small, kind of rueful smile. Tried that already. No luck, I'm afraid.
Do you know what happened here?
To know is a strong word. I saw it, if that's what you mean. He holds out a hand and kind of grasps for you. You need to go. This village isn't safe anymore.
Can you tell me of what happened?
Yes, yes. We were warned. A man came to us, human and hulking, and warned us that all who had aided you would be retaliated against. You kind of blanch a bit as he seems to recognize by your voice who you are. Some of us left. Turns out the Dark Elves had the same idea. But some of us stayed. To protect the village, or I suppose we were too arrogant to believe them. I don't know exactly how long it's been now. Things are a blur when you're not able to see the sun. But I remember there was a flash of light from the sky. The moon blinked. And the next thing we knew, the forest was on fire. We did everything we could to halt the flames. But then they came out of the woods. Scared out by the flame, I assume. They weren't trying to hurt us. They were just trying to escape. One of them stung me. Got me in the eye. Everything went dark after that. I've been fending for myself here, avoiding them based on sound. And feeding the dead to them, to keep them occupied.
Who?
There was a colony of Trophitis at the base of Mount Olympus in the jungles. The smoke... I don't know if the fire reached that far, but either it did, or the smoke frightened them. Or perhaps simply our burning flesh attracted them. But they made their way through as soon as the smoke was clear, and turned this village into their greenhouse. Fed on everything they could. They've moved on since then, at least most of them have. But I still hear a few lingering in the surrounding woods. They had a queen. A queen. There was nothing we could have done. Everyone who couldn't fight and didn't burn ran. The Elder protected them, but I haven't seen them since. If they made it, they're not coming back.
Can you stand?
I can now, thanks to you. Which one are you again?
I'm not sure if you'll know it, but go by Alf.
I'm afraid it's not familiar to me. I hope I don't seem ungrateful.
I have recently gone through a name change.
Oh,
Yes.
well, I congratulate you, Mr. Alfred. He slowly, almost testing if he can, pulls himself up and leans over the side of the bed before rising to his feet. Again, he's a little awkward in movement, but he is able to walk comfortably. But he does grab your shoulder so that he has a guide.
Yeah, I'll
Where are
force
you
help him.
taking me?
Guess to where we can find safety.
Thank you. You and your party truly are Valkyries.
Get you to safety. Off I go.
Avaben.
Yes.
Sorry, I was responding to your message. As you all finishes calming down and him and Anna join the rest of the group, you see Alfred step out of one of the houses with a survivor. Although, judging from their posture and demeanor, and as you see closer, their eyes, they're blind.
Does Avaven recognize this elf?
Roll history.
Apparently I do. Natural 20.
Yes, you recognize him. He was actually a teacher at the local school. You didn't necessarily know him incredibly well, but you knew that him and his brothers were very passionate about educating the youth of the village, and that, here I have his name written down, you knew him as Mr. Tutor, which, yes, he encouraged all of you, laugh at it once, and then move on.
So was Avaven one of his students at one point?
Yeah, I mean, assuming you got any kind of schooling, yeah. Him and his brothers are basically the only game in the village for that.
Out of curiosity, how did they handle the differences?
To their credit, they actually were not incredibly judgmental of you for being a dark elf. In fact, they were actually rather straightforward with you about how it kind of bugs them that the village is so reclusive and backwards. But they acknowledge that obviously there's not a whole hell of a lot they can do about that. They didn't make the law, but they do acknowledge basically it's bullshit and would talk very frankly with you about how, hey, it's unfair. I get it. It sucks. Here's some tips on how to navigate it. You know, we're good. As long as you're willing to learn, I'm willing to teach. I don't give a crystal tree what you are.
What were they? Did they have like how were they encouraged to refer to a teacher? Did they call him like Mister?
Generally, you would refer to them as either elder, but if you wanted to avoid any kind of confusion in the presence of an elder, you would simply refer to them as the knowers.
So like usually it'd be like elder tutor.
Yeah, elder tutor, and just if you're in the presence of an elder, you just say the knower.
All right. So if one of Avon recognizes, be like elder tutor.
Do my ears deceive me?
Avon
Mr.
will like.
Agatha.
I was gonna say like if Avon goes over, kind of closer to talk to him and all.
I'm so glad you're all right. I'm sorry you had to return to see our home in this state.
What has happened?
We were warned by a human that those who had aided you would be punished. But not everyone chose to leave. So, someone had to stay to protect those who stayed. My brothers and I were among them. We aren't fighters, but we know how to defend ourselves. At least we thought we did. I don't know how long it's been. And he rubs at his eyes. But I remember. It was the middle of the night. The moon above us blinked. And the next thing we knew, the forest was on fire. By the time we had put out the flames, the forest creatures had been drawn out. The Triffid colony from the north swarmed us. Between the flames and the venom, we were forced to retreat. But a stinger lashed at my eyes. I knew that I would simply slow the village down if they tried to get me out of there, so I stayed. I've been keeping the colony and the queen busy, feeding them the bodies of the dead and waiting to make sure somebody knows what happened here.
Who stayed? What about my parents? Or you alls?
You all leans forward and the knower places a hand on your shoulder with a comforting smile. They weren't foolish. The moment the human warned us what was coming, they trusted him and followed his lead to get somewhere safe. I know not where, though. The man had an accent I couldn't place. But assuming that his warning was true, I'm inclined to believe that his promise of safe passage and sanctuary also was. Wherever they are, they were long gone by the time this happened. Unless your enemies have found them as well, they should be safe. But I cannot say the same for everyone.
Have the Triffids left the area?
Most of them. But the queen is still lurking. I haven't been able to drive her out. But I'm just glad you're here and safe. I'm sorry I couldn't do more.
It's alright. There is nothing you can do. So you said the others left with the man? They didn't go to the capital?
He shakes his head. Anyone who stayed and survived went to the capital, but your parents... He kind of tilts his head, and you get the impression he's kind of trying to gauge where you all is before his ear settles in his direction, and he gives a smile. And your family went as well, although it took some convincing.
What about Ollie's?
Ollie, for her part, has her arms crossed and is looking away. You get the impression she already knows the answer. As the knower gives a swallow, and they knew what was coming, but refused to flee. The last I saw of them, they were fighting, but after that stinger hit me, I wasn't able to take in anything that was happening, and I wouldn't be able to identify them just based on a burnt corpse. I'm afraid I just don't know. It's alright. We knew what we signed up for. They were rangers. If they died protecting the forest, that just means they're feeding it. Trees can regrow. And that means people can.
I'm just gonna... Just because it seems like the kind of thing Ollie would do if a Vaven was in this kind of situation. A Vaven's just gonna pull Ollie in. I'm sorry.
She's quiet for a moment before, without saying anything, she just puts a hand on your head and presses your foreheads together as she takes in a deep breath. You all can hear crunching footsteps and gasps as the remaining crew, bit by bit, begins to funnel in through Greylog's portal. Speaking of, Greylog, sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
Giving word to your crew, and everything's fine, you're pretty sure. You tell the crew to let the party know you'll catch up with them tomorrow, and you ready to portal home?
Well, would they have had enough time to, like, maybe one of them stick their head back through, like, hey, everything went
Unless
shit
they
here?
want that head chopped off.
It's okay. Let's just go back to my house. That's the plan. It's too late. We can't do that here.
I mean, I guess you could, like, tell one of the crew who's about to go through, like, hey, can you go in and then come back and tell me what it's like over there and then go?
Well, I wouldn't have enough spells for that.
So,
Yeah, I would-
you wouldn't be able to anyway.
Okay, we head to her place.
Alright.
Is that what would happen, Matthew? Is that what would happen if, like, somebody had, like, their arm in, like, halfway through a portal when it closed? Would it, like, chop that arm off?
It depends on the exact portal. If it is, say, a bag of holding type, it just traps it in a demiplane. If it's something like this, yeah, more likely it'll just cut your arm off. And there are others still where it'll just kick you out before that happens. It just depends on the portal.
It's all good. You know.
Oh no, I was just answering the
Yeah.
question. And Greylog, what plant do you wish to teleport to?
Wasn't there one outside her house?
She has a lawn.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's a
I mean,
tree
wasn't
there.
there a tree outside of her place?
Yeah,
I
probably.
believe so, yes.
Then yes, I'll go back to that one.
Alright.
To the tree.
To the tree.
To the tree.
Sorry, Greylog. In excited titters over the change in your dynamic. Content that the party will be fine without you for a few hours, you open a final portal and step through to return home. Asari, you can't wait to breathe in that crisp Britannian air.
Oh,
Tea and
Oh,
seawater.
I
no.
don't
and
like how
yeah.
you said
Oh,
that.
The
no.
pollution, everything. Just,
And
Are they really? Can they really hit Britannia of all places?
Asari, those aren't the smells that greet you. The first sound you hear when you take a step through the portal is a crunch. And as you look down, you realize you're standing on burnt grass
oh,
and what appears to be a shard of glass.
oh, jeez. I take the glass out of my foot.
Greylog, as you enter through and the portal shuts behind you, you take in your surroundings. Asari, where once stood a wealthy estate, is now rubble. Your house has been burned to the ground. The windows are broken, the roof completely gone, the floors caved in, and the wood rotting and blackened with flames. The plants are dead, rubble and shards of glass are scattered in the abandoned lawn, and Greylog, as you look, the tree you just came from is dead. And the tree's branches are curled unnaturally inwards, almost like a dead spider.
Sorry, it's just kind of looking at this, and her gaze is just like in that state of absolute disbelief of like, is this even real? Am I looking at this? And then she just and then she's gonna run inside and just look around, yelling for her mom.
Asari,
I will go help.
Greylog, you join Asari as she runs down the lawn and starts calling for her mother. And you know what the worst part is? As you look around, Asari, you realize something you had missed initially. The other houses, even the ones on either side of your door, are completely untouched. As if nothing had happened at all.
Gonna start.
That's a
I'm just gonna-
precision strike.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look around. I'm gonna look in every single place that I can look. Just be like,
Asari,
Mom, if you can hear me, please say something.
Greylog, you follow after Asari as she grows increasingly distraught and runs up and down the Britannian roads, calling for her mother.
I'll ask around, be like, please, has anyone heard from my mom? Please.
You get no answers, and none appear to be forthcoming.
I'll look
And
at
that
Greylog, just
is
like,
where we're-
help.
And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
We don't find any sort of body.
You haven't checked the house yet. You just started asking around.
I
No,
went
she said she was
inside.
checking the house.
I did. I said I was
Wow.
turning everything inside out, looking for my mom.
She said he said it was rubble.
Yeah, I was like, where we ended the session.
That,
It's fine.
so I
it's
figured
okay.
we were checking the house.
I did
No,
too, but
yeah,
that's
'cause
okay.
she said she starts going around and calling for and pulling people aside and asking about her. So I was like, okay, she's out on the road.
No,
then.
but at first she said she was looking in the house.
I did. I did, but that's okay.
Well, I mean, regardless, we can pick up there when we get back anyway.
Okay.
I just misheard you. I apologize.
No, it's okay.
Ugh.
Yes, that is where we're going to end tonight's session. The Boomergangers indeed have been striking, and as Aveba noted, precisely, causing absolute carnage and unmitigated devastation in one place, and a surgical, precise attack in another.
So are we sure we want to fight them head on?
Well, all of our plans involved doing that.
Yeah, it's just a matter of where and when. Give me just a hot second. My outro notes are deciding to take forever and a half to actually load. But in the meantime, I'll just go off of memory. If you want to see more, check out our website at officiald5hub.info. Down for maintenance at the moment, but soon to be resurrected from the grave like a filthy necromancer who just discovered her house was burnt down.
But sorry, it's not a necromancer.
No, but I am.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it's just usually the bit I do. Check out our link in chat to join our official D5 Discord server if you want to hang out with us directly. Support our episodes posted on Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Google Podcasts, the iHeart Podcast Network, wherever you happen to get them from. Check out our Patreon if you want to support us directly. That link will be posted shortly. Our YouTube channel at Odd Tornado Productions to catch up on anything you may have missed. Check out our Twitter at twitter.com/tornadoodd, TNO capitalized, to catch up on anything you may have missed, any of our other projects, and to get immediate updates whenever we go live. Support us on Ko-fi at kofi.com/oddtornadoproductions. Follow us on Tumblr at official Odd Tornado Productions, or Odd Tornado Productions Official, one of the two. And if you want to see more of this party, plus or minus a few, tune in tomorrow, Tuesdays at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time, for our Tuesday game of Black Ink and Blue Blood, featuring a party of politicians and nobles trying to unravel political conspiracy if they can stop stabbing each other in the back long enough. Check out our Paladins Twitch channel at twitch.tv/AustinFreak123. Thanks everyone at the table so much for playing. Thanks everyone at home so much for watching. And we'll see you all next week.